Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is eye-see-tah and you're here with home at eye-see-tah. Now this is going to be a series of minimalist video that's just going to essentially show you or tell you how to scale down your life and live in such a way that you center myself. I'm not centered, I'm centered now? Yeah, nothing in life is perfect, but we all aim to be. Alright, so I have 5 things that can help you to essentially be a minimalist. I have them written down here in my journal. Just a regular book that I have, really, that I call my ideas journal. So we're gonna go right into that. So backstory, I am what you would call a conventional minimalist or a modern minimalist. I don't go all the way to having one bed on the ground and you know that kind of stuff. I just kind of ensure that whatever I have in my house, it's one being used, or I love it 100%, and I can't do away with it. So I'm able to keep my sentimental things that are functional for me. And of course I have 2 kids, so this is also a series that's going to incorporate your children or other people that you live with that not essentially minimalist. I also live with my partner and he is of course a shoes hoarder, so obviously can't minimalize that. Alright, so for me though, I never decided to become a minimalist. I think I was always that kind of way, and that's because of how I was raised. Essentially, my mom's a hoarder. She keeps everything, every single test paper, every single thing that you can possibly think of, she has that. She keeps them. And it just became a place when I was growing up that was so crowded all the time. My sister and I hated it. We love our mom, and if she ever sees this, I love you, mom, but it was a little bit too much. So when I was growing up, I realized that after going from rental property to rental property and you're moving, you tend to accumulate all these things and then you just don't know what to do with them. And then you move into a bigger space and then you get more stuff, and then you move down into a smaller space and then you get stuck with all this stuff that you had. Like the last place I lived in was a 3-bedroom, and I ended up buying an extra bed and I ended up with 2 4-beds, and then I moved into a 2-bedroom and I have an extra bed that is just in the house that I'm wanting to give away, that kind of thing. So here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that will help you. The first thing that you need to do is to declutter. You want to declutter and cull anything, your wardrobe. It's the easiest way to do this is to essentially just throw everything else on the ground, on the bed, on the couch, everything, all your clothes. Start with your clothes, because that's essentially where we kind of go haywire. And you start to take things out. First you take things out that are damaged, torn, worn out, can't be donated. You can't donate them, you can't recycle them, you can't reuse them in any sort of way. You throw those away because they're just garbage, they're just trash. And then you start taking out things that you haven't worn in the last year, and you take those away. You probably consider to donate those or give them to a family member who probably would like them. I normally pass on my stuff that I don't wear anymore to my younger sisters, especially the teenager. She is just getting into her fashion sense and she still wants to use those things, so I pass them down to her and she absolutely adores and loves them, so that's fine. And I feel good seeing her in them later on and kind of having this kind of nostalgic memory of, oh my god, I remember when I had that kind of thing. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to essentially just donate to the Salvation Army or the Goodwill. I think they have in the States that kind of thing. I have my challenges with Goodwill, but hey, each his own. But in the meantime, I figure you can just donate them to somebody else, donate them to, you know, whatever. And then you start to now take the things that you absolutely love. I make a third pile. I make a pile of things that I'm not sure I want to get rid of, but I still like. So I will keep those and I'll put them in a bag or in a box under my bed away from my eyesight. And if I haven't been in there for 6 months, I just take up the entire box and I donate that box. I don't go back through it. I just take it up and I just give it away because I haven't looked at it for 6 months. Clearly I don't need it. The next thing is to organize with storage bins. So yes, it might seem like you're getting rid of stuff and you're getting more stuff. The key is everything should have its own place. And because if it does, when something is out of place, it'll be easier for you to save. to see when something's out of place. Like right now I'm looking at a rag that's on my shelf there, and I took off the picture frame around the picture to wipe it off, and I wipe off the picture frame, put it somewhere to dry, and I left the rag where it is, but I know it's not supposed to be there, so I'm gonna go and take that up in a minute. So everything has a place. I had some ice in this. It's not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be in the kitchen. I had this on my head, it's not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be in my catch-all drawer or my catch-all bowl, which I have everything that I use every day just the same. So that's one thing you can do. And you get storage containers, you get them in an aesthetic that is good for you, that you're working with, and that would lead into the second point, where is that you pick a color scheme. My color scheme for my house is actually gray, black, and white, and I have a lot of wood finishes. I live in the Caribbean, my father makes furniture, so a lot of my things are wood finished, but so it's gray, and it's kind of like, I think they call it whisper now. It's like a whisper gray kind of thing, purplish, light color, dust color gray kind of thing, right? And black and white. So everything else is pretty much black and white. The girls' room though is in colors. They have pink, purple, green, orange. Everything is in their room. They are entitled to be kids. They'll do what they need to do. So that's a space that I don't really mess with in terms of that. I ensure that they don't have anything on their dresser, and everything has a place and is in storage containers, so it's easy to keep their room neat. That they don't do. But they have storage bins, they have a storage basket, they have a closet that's closed off. They can dump everything into the closet for all I care, but as long as it is neat, and I tend to be on them to get that done. So pick a color scheme. You don't have to pick the color scheme I pick. You don't have to pick black, white, and gray either. It's just that for me, it's easier for me to deal with that white. I can essentially, all my sheets are white. Most of my sheets are white. I have 1 or 2 sheets that are colored or patterned, and that's because I kind of sometimes I feel like for a little bit of color, and I have those, but most of my sheets are normally white, and because I just throw them in the washing machine, bleach, Oxymaster, and I just get them clean, so I don't have to worry about whether or not I need to color coordinate or anything like that. And then, you know, black and stuff. My clothes, I'll wear whatever color I feel like wearing. I tend to gravitate to earth tone colors anyway, so I don't mind that. But everything else in my house is essentially on that same color scheme, so you can do that. So you can get storage containers in that same color schemes. If you have them packed up in your house or somewhere, they won't look out of place, and then you can store things in them. You can label those, or, you know, whatever, however you want to do it, it's up to you. In one of those storage containers, you need to have something that I call a catch-all. So like for me, there's stuff on my desk that I don't do like a whole cleaning, just to just do stuff to ensure that it's clean enough for me to use. I'll just throw them in that little catch-all bowl. It's my catch-all bowl. It's a ceramic bowl, and it has everything that I have that I've used on my desk that I don't particularly, I took it from somewhere else, and I have not gone to put them there, so I just kind of throw everything in here to get them out of the way, so I can then take the bowl out, put it somewhere, and then I organize what needs to go into what room, and then I take them room by room and put them out that way. So that's one easy way to kind of get things clean. You need to create a routine. That's essential, and it's probably going to be the hardest thing you need to do, to create a routine, especially when you're working. It kind of gets hard. So my routine normally is late in the evening at night, so when everybody's kind of down and out, I'll go around and I'll dust and clean and take things and organize stuff as well. And I also make the persons who are living with me take responsibility for what they're doing. So if somebody leaves something else, I'll tell them to go take it up or clean up, especially my kids and stuff. And then I'll just go around and take up what needs to be taken up. But everything has a space, even if it's not in a container. It's supposed to be somewhere on a counter somewhere, under a cupboard somewhere, and I know where everything goes. And that for me is fun. It is a part of why I like organizing that way, so it works. So yeah, that works for me. The other thing is, it's not about less, it's about how you feel. That's my last tip. It's not about having less, because I really haven't culled down anything or thrown away anything that's, you know, in my home that I need, or anything that is important. It's just things that I haven't used. Like one of my biggest declutter errors, other than my clothes, was the area that I kept all my cords in. I found old cell phones, old charging cables, old hubs, the spark to your phone. I found some of them in there. Some weren't working, some of the cards weren't working. Ethernet cables, old cable boxes, old modems for your computer. I found so many things. I found CDs, and that was that. I essentially could have just taken out that entire drawer and dumped it in the garbage. That's how much of things that was in there. And then I used that to kind of catch everything else, and that's it. I have things that are aesthetic. Like I have a lot of photos. I have a whole thing with photos for my family and my girl, well, for me and my girls. And then I like making crafty things. So I have bottles that I decorated and picture frames that I sprayed and that kind of stuff all over the place. But at the end of the day, when I walk through my home, I am 100% comfortable and 100% pleased with what is there and how it is situated and how things are with it. So that's essentially what a minimalist lifestyle is like. It's just essentially feeling comfortable in the space that you're in. And I hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps you. And on this journey, it's just how you feel about yourself. Do this for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't do it to join a fad or you know, fashion or whatever. A minimalist lifestyle is what you make it out to be. It's just, to me, being neat and clean and organized all the time, and you can do that as long as you're comfortable with what you're doing.